Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to be doing my Cfmoto Cforce 500S 150 mile update review to my previous review that I did with only 30 miles on the machine. I'm going to be using this format instead of a walk around of the vehicle because currently the vehicle is in the shop. So let's get started. First we're going to talk about performance. So this machine does have great performance and great acceleration. So far I've been able to achieve a top speed of 49 miles per hour. The stock tires that do come with this machine do perform very well in the mud and in a forest environment terrain. However, these tires are very bad when trying to plow snow on pavement. They do slip because this machine does come with mud tires. The electronic power steering that is included with the Cfmoto models does allow the machine to handle very well in rough terrain and through the forest, with very easy turning in the forest with the machine because of the included EPS. However, now the transmission does have a lot of issues on these machines, and a lot of times this machine will get stuck in gear if the machine does drift even just the slightest bit. This often does happen if you do have it in high or low and you do need to stop and shift it into either reverse or park, and vice versa. If you are in reverse and it does drift, then you will have issues trying to get it unstuck and go into either park or high or low. In order to do so, you do have to rev the machine up and get it to move just the slightest bit. Make sure that you do hold both brakes in and then try to jiggle with the transmission and rock the machine back and forth to finally get the transmission to shift out of the gear that it does get stuck into. Overall, I give this machine a performance rating of 7 due to the great acceleration of the vehicle and the performance of the mud tires in the mud and the rough terrain. However, I did deduct some points because of the tires not performing well on pavement when trying to plow with the machine and because of the transmission issues. Now let's discuss value. This machine, for the low retail price that it is start at for $500, does come with an included winch, included electronic power steering on an automatic transmission, which is a added option in some machines, and it also does come with aluminum wheels versus steel wheels, which a lot of other 500s do come with just the steel wheel stock. But like I said, this machine does come with aluminum wheels stock. Overall, I gave this machine a value rating of 8 because of the added features that do come with it that are extras in other machines. But I did deduct a few points just because of the quality of the winch that I feel that it does have, which I will discuss a little bit later, and because of the machine's overall quality that I do feel that it has. It is very, like, a little bit lower quality than other machines that are on the market. And also I did feel that the aluminum wheels that do come with the machine do scratch very easily. Alright, let's talk about reliability and quality. Since I've had this machine in the first 150 miles, I do want to talk about some of the issues I had with this machine. My most recent one that has put it into the shop right now is an overheating issue where the machine does and has been overheating a lot. And I was told by the shop that it is a combination of the radiator fan not functioning properly and the fluid leaking out of the reservoir when there are no holes. So they do not understand where all the fluid is leaking out of it. However, the radiator was still full with radiator fluid when I did take the machine over, and they said the radiator fan is not functioning properly. However, even though the shop is not backed up right now, they did say that it's going to be at least a month before I do get the machine back. Alright, let's shift gears to the transmission. As I did discuss earlier, the transmission does have the tendency of getting stuck in gear if the machine does drift even the slightest. This does create a lot of issues, especially if you do get in a pinch in the force and do need to quickly shift back and forth between forward and reverse. A lot of times when I've had it out, it has either gotten stuck in forward or reverse and not wanted to go back to the gear that I did need, creating a very big issues where I have almost wrecked the machine a few times. Next, I want to talk about the quality of the skid plates that do come on the machine. They are very, very low quality plastic, and they do break very easily. I have actually had my back skid plate break just going through a water puddle, and there was no stones or mud or anything being thrown up at it. However, just the force of the water coming up off the tires did break the back skid plate on it. Also, on the issue of skid plates, I wanted to mention that this machine right from the factory is missing 2 bolts that do attach to the front skid plate. So when I first bought this machine, I went to unload it off of my truck, and the front skid plate actually fell off and banged on the tailgate of my truck and did break on the machine. And that took about 2 weeks to get a new skid plate from the dealer. Alright, on the issue of the skid plates, I also want to go and talk about the welds on the frame. When my back skid plate actually did break, it did break one of the welds loose on the frame, and over the 150 miles that I have driven the machine, I have had lots of issues with a bunch of the welds on the frame starting to break and come loose with no impact to them, just from the bumps and the bruises of driving over rough terrain and going through the water puddles has actually broken a lot of the welds on the frame, and I've had to take it to the dealer that I bought it from to get the welds fixed, as well as take it to a local welder to get the welds fixed for me. This is a very, very big issue, because once this machine is out of warranty for me, I will have to start worrying about paying to get the welds fixed and hope that the frame does not break fully. Alright, now let's talk about the winch. Overall, I feel like the winch is very poor quality. I've actually had a lot of issues with the winch cable fraying and falling apart, and I will actually have to replace the winch cable in it. And since it is in the shop right now, I did mention that to them, and they said that they were going to get a hold of Cfmoto to see if it would be covered, but they said that it will probably just be normal wear and tear, and that I will actually have to replace the cable, even though it is just based on the poor quality of the cable. Alright, and another issue I've had with this machine, I've had this happen to me a couple times. Once when I was plowing, the front tire actually fell off of the rim, and once when I was out in the woods, I hit a small bump and it actually knocked the tire off of the rim. So overall, the reliability and the quality rating of this machine, I would give it a 3, because I've actually had to call friends and family to bring one of their four-wheelers to where I was actually riding and pull me out of the forest on numerous occasions, and that was, very hard because, they have to come find you, and, if you're riding by yourself, this machine, I would say, is not very reliable for riding in the woods by yourself, and you would probably most likely want to make sure you're riding with a bunch of people, and make sure that at least one person that is with you does have the capability of being able to pull you entirely out of the forest. Overall, I give this machine a rating of a 5. I gave it a few extra points because of the great performance of the machine, the value-added features that you do get that are bonuses on other machines. However, I did deduct the points because of the poor quality, the poor reliability of this machine, as well as, of all the issues I've had with it. I would highly not recommend this machine to anyone looking to buy a machine. I would really recommend, just buying a little more pricey machine, giving up maybe the electronic power steerings and the aluminum wheels, and just stick with the steel wheels, and get a machine that is of better quality than the Cfmoto 500S. Overall, I would say do not buy this machine, because really I feel like you're just buying a piece of garbage and spending $5,000 plus on a machine that is not going to give you that reliability. And in the long run, this machine's going to be in the shop, which mine has been in the shop a lot more than I've been able to ride it. So overall, you're really not probably going to get much ride out of this machine, and you're going to have to always worry that this machine is going to break down on you. Alright, thank you for watching my review, and I'm going to add a walk around of the machine from my previous review of this machine to the end of this video. So if you do want to see actual video of the machine, what it looks like, just stay tuned, and don't forget to please click the like button, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel.